capital and the current account, and we will start with a new set of lectures today, and I will talk about the past adjustments today. Keep on watching my channel, don't miss any of my lectures.
Let us first understand what do you mean by past adjustments and why the entries has to be done. Sometimes certain errors or omissions are discovered after closing the accounts, and they are generally corrected by passing journal entries. Now, first and foremost, we have to understand what are the common types of errors which can take place. These are the errors of omission. There can be omission of interest on capital, there can be omission of interest on drawing, there can be omission of both, there can be omission of salary, there can be omission of commission, and there can be mistakes in calculation of the distribution of profit. So these types of mistakes which occur and it is noticed after the preparation of the profit and loss appropriation account are corrected by either passing a single adjustment entry, which is more common, and or it is basically done by passing separate adjustment journal entries for each journal. It is very important to make an adjustment table and analyze the errors and only then go ahead with the adjustment entry, because when there are multiple errors, it is important that we make an adjustment table, and after making the adjustment table only we start with the corrections. Now let us take one question and try to solve it. Now here you can see I have taken three cases. The first case is omission of interest on capital. The second case is omission of interest on drawing, and the third case is omission of salary. In the first case, we can see there are three partners A, B and C, and they have a capital balance of 1,80,000 and 70,000. The partnership deed has provided interest on capital at 10%, which was omitted. Their profit sharing ratio is 2:2:1, and we are asked to pass an adjustment entry. This was the first case. The second case is omission of interest on drawing. P, Q and R are partners with a PSR of 3:2:1. Profit of the firm was 90,000 and was distributed without taking into consideration interest on drawing. P 3,800, Q 3,300, R 1,900. Pass an adjustment entry. Here the profit is given, but don't worry about that. That will not be taken into consideration. Why? The profit has actually been distributed in the said profit sharing ratio. The profit will only be returned back if the profit has not been returned distributed in the proper profit sharing ratio. The third case, this is the omission of salary, where I have taken two partners G and F who are equal partners. The profit was distributed without providing the salary of 5,000 to G and 3,000 to F, and we are asked to pass an adjustment entry. So we'll slowly see how the three cases will actually work out. We'll do the sums in the three different stages. After we have read the question, we have seen there are three cases, and the first case is there where the interest on capital has not been taken into consideration, and you can see that the capital of three partners has been provided as 1,80,000 and 70,000. The three partners are A, B and C, and the partnership deed has provided an interest on capital of 10%, which is not being considered before distribution of the profit to the partners, and the profit sharing ratio is 2:2:1. Now let us see what adjustment entry will be done. So first let us see over here interest on capital. Very simple calculation. 10% that is 10,000, B 8,000 and C 7,000. So therefore the total amount of interest on capital will be 25,000, which is not being considered in the profit and loss appropriation account. Since it has not been considered in the profit and loss appropriation account, we are writing a credit over here because it is a credit item, if you remember the journal entry very clearly. Now what is the distribution of profit? Since this has been ignored, and what is the ratio? 2:2:1. So 25,000, it is distributed in the ratio of 2:2:1. So 10,000 to the first partner, 10,000 to the second partner, and 5,000 to the third partner. This calculation shows very clearly that A has neither lost nor gained anything over here, 10,000 and 10,000, but B, what has happened has been given 10,000,
but should have got 8,000 over here. Please see very carefully. This is a debit item and the credit item should be 8,000, but over here it is 10,000. So 2,000 will be credited more, and here 2,000 will be debited from C, because C has got 7,000 but C should have got 5,000. So we'll pass the journal entry. Very simple journal entry. Format of the journal entry is known to you, so I'm not drawing the format. Date, particulars, ledger folio, amount, and let us now do the journal entry. So the journal entry will be B's capital account debit to C's capital account. Repeat again. B's capital account debit to C's capital account, and the amount will be 2,000, 2,000. So this is case number 1 where the interest on capital was omitted. Now we'll move on to the second case where interest on drawing is omitted. Now let us take the second case. In the second case, interest on drawing is omitted. Here we have taken 3 partners P, Q and R, and you can see the interest on drawing is already given to you, and the interest on drawing of P is 3,800, of Q is 3,300 and of R is 1,900, and the profit sharing ratio is mentioned to you as 3:2:1. This has not been considered while distribution of profit has been done. So we'll see what has to be done and we'll pass the adjustment entry for that. So first step first, interest on drawing. Interest on drawing. And the name of the 3 partners are P, Q and R. These are the name of the 3 partners. Now please see very carefully. 3,800, 3,300 and 1,900. So if you add all these 3,300 plus 3,300 plus 1,900 gives us a total of 9,000. This is a debit amount, okay, 9,900. Now if you distribute the profit, distribution of profit in taking 9,000, that will be the credit. So 9,000 over here. Let us see very carefully in the ratio of 3:2:1. So 9,000 divided by 6 will give us 1,500 to the first partner. 9,000 divided by 6 into 2 will give us 3,000 to the second partner and 4,500 to the first partner. So P will get 4,500, Q will get 3,000 and R will get 1,500. Please see very carefully. The credit amount should be over here 4,500, but it is only 3,800. So if we subtract that amount, we'll get how much more credit it should be. So we can see 4,500 and 3,800. So 700 is the amount. Here you can see over here very carefully 300 should be the amount. Why? Because here the credit is more than the debit, so 300 is the amount. And again over here the debit item is more, 400 should be the amount. So these 2 items should be debited and here we have a credit of it. So we are passing that journal entry. We know the format of the journal entry. I'm not going to tell you that again and again. Let us do that again. For the journal entry will be Q's capital account debit, R's capital account debit to P's capital account, and we can see very carefully the figures are 300, 400 and 700. So this is an adjustment entry which will pass on the omission of interest on drawing. We had given interest on drawing over here, which I have already written over there. This was distributed on the partners. If it had not been missed, then the profit would have been distributed in this format. The profit would have increased because you know that the interest on drawing is in the credit side of the profit and loss appropriation account. And we have passed an adjustment entry where Q's capital is 3,000, R's capital is debited by 4,000 and P's capital is credited by 7,000. The next case, if you see very carefully, there is the salary which is missing for 2 partners. We'll do that in just a moment. Now let us move on to the last case in this question, and the last case was that there are two partners G and F who are equal partners and they are provided a salary of 5,000 and 3,000, and that was missing from the profit and loss appropriation account. So we'll first see the calculation and then we'll go for the adjustment journal entry. So what was missing? The thing which was missing was the salary, and the salary which was paid to the first partner G and the second partner F was 5,000 and 3,000 respectively. So the total amount was 8,000. Now if that had been distributed, the profit would have come down, and the profit should be distributed equally in 1:1 ratio. So 8,000, so it would be 4,000 to the first partner and 4,000 to the second partner. As we know, this is a credit item and this is a debit item. See very carefully over here. So you can see G is 1,000 more credit, so therefore 1,000 will be credited, and here 1,000 is debit, so 1,000 will be debited. So the simple journal entry which will pass over here will be F's capital account debit to G's capital account with the figures 1,000, 1,000. So this concludes the three cases which we had taken in this question. If you remember, the first case was interest on capital was omitted, the second case was interest on drawing was omitted, and the third case was salary was omitted. Keep watching.